Welcome back to Simplify Your Business. David Wolf with Melanie Rembrandt. Melanie, hi.
Hi, David. How are you today?
Doing well. Thank you. Hope everyone is doing well and simplifying the road, the journey to simplification. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And we continue that journey today with the subject matter, how can you get more done each day? Getting more done.
Well, this is a basic one for small business owners. They're just overwhelmed, and the end of the day can come and you feel like you didn't accomplish anything. I'm sure you've experienced that too, David.
I have, and I've observed as well as in our show notes as we move through this episode that this particular episode, we are actually getting more done because we have 4 tips for you, not just 3.
Wow, we're moving ahead here, David. That's awesome.
So, we're going to pack it in here, but keep it simple too. So, number 1, create a to-do list that works for you. Okay, I'm a list maker. I love this idea. Whether it's a scribble on a notepad, a computer, a document database, something simple, just write it down. It will help you focus.
Right, and I think a lot of people get overwhelmed by just creating a to-do list. I mean, you can just...
The first item is create a to-do list. That's number 1. Okay. Sorry.
And, it doesn't have to be that huge of an ordeal. What works for you? Do you just need to scribble something on a napkin? Do you need to put it on a Post-it note so it's in front of you? I mean, I like to make a detailed to-do list because it's so much fun at the end of the day to cross out all the things I did. But It just depends on what works for you.
Do you put little boxes and you check them in?
No, I just make a list and make a big, huge line through it, and that's awesome.
Like the line is like, this expression. I guess. I think of a line going through things, the red, whatever it is, whatever crayon you're using. Yeah. So I don't know if everyone listening likes to do lists. I mean, a lot of us try to keep it in our heads, and that's kind of a no-no, I think, because that's where the overwhelm can start to happen. And when you're looking at simplifying, get it out from in your head and onto the page so you can look at it. I have a whiteboard, actually a couple of whiteboards behind me, and that helps too, because then you can just use the big eraser at the end of the day. So whatever works for you.
I think you just need to see what works for you, but you do need to write things down because you forget things. It also helps you prioritize, what do I really need to get done today?
Of course, which brings us to tip number 2, figure out your priorities. What do you absolutely, positively need to complete today? And focus on that and don't let the disruptions get in the way.
Right. And if you have it written down in front of you, that number 1 thing you need to get done, it's in your head all day. Okay, I need to get that done. And you're going to be more likely to get it finished if it's, sitting in front of you. You want to do what you need to do to finish that one main task, whether that's putting your phone aside, closing your door, whatever you need to do. But, focus on that top priority.
Yeah, right. Prioritization is really a beautiful thing on so many levels. I have a colleague that once said that he does a prioritized list of 3 items in the morning, and then after, quote, lunch, the midday, he'll look at it again, and because the priorities may have changed as the day evolves, because it's a dynamic thing. I mean, we say, well, make a list in the morning, but, stuff happens, and, you may be getting inbounds and all kinds of communication that may change what's important. So it can be a moving, living, breathing thing. I don't know if you agree with that, Melanie, do you?
Oh, I do. It depends on what business you're in, too.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we all have different activities going on depending on what type of products and services we're delivering.
Exactly. So priorities are huge. Number 3, take short breaks. Oh, this is cool. While you may have a lot of work to finish, you'll be more energized if you do take some breaks. Go for a walk, take the dog, sit outside, enjoy nature, have a healthy snack.
Yes. I think this is really important. A lot of times I would just be frustrated or stressed out, and I'd go to the gym or to go out for a run or something, and all of a sudden I have these great business ideas, and I couldn't wait to get back to write them down.
Right.
So, even if you don't think you can get away from your office, it's really going to help you, even if it's 5 minutes, to just go outside and take a deep breath.
I had a conversation with a son of mine who is an employee. He's not a business owner, but he works in a very stressful environment. He works in a call center, international call center. He's got about 200 people below him, and it's extremely stressful. And he commented over time as he was getting conditioned to all of this that he was not taking breaks. Sometimes he wouldn't even eat or take lunch because he just got so involved. And what happens, I think, you talk about simplifying, we escalate, right? It's an emotional thing. We get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and we can't let go. So this taking a break, this breathing, I'm a meditator, so I'm into that. Take the breath, take the walk, and even if you don't feel like you can get away, it actually will help energize, as Melanie said. So that's great.
Yes, I'm a big believer in that, because otherwise I would sit at my desk 12 hours a day straight.
I know. We would if we could, is kind of like what that looks like. So it's crazy. And finally, don't get overwhelmed. Keep it simple. Focus on one priority at a time. And this gets into, again, somewhat into the distraction conversation. Try to just do one of the things you have on your list at once.
Exactly. I mean, if you're working a lot on a bunch of little things, you're not going to get anything done completely. That's why, again, it goes back to our priority list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think how great you'll feel at the end of the day if you got that one thing done rather than 10 things halfway done.
Right. Once again, it's sort of like the multitasking idea, but it's also about being present with the task and the one task at a time, the one thought at a time, and not trying to do multiple things. It's like single file line, guys. That's really what it is. The to-do list is sort of a metaphor. It's like number one, just do number one. Number two, just do number two. And I suffer from flight of mind. I have a lot of creative ideas all throughout my day, and a lot of my thoughts sometimes run parallel to even conversations. I'll be in a conversation with somebody, I realize I'm not listening. I'm actually thinking about some business idea or about something I need to do or something coming up. This requires discipline and a decision to simplify. So
exactly. And again, I think sometimes you just need to tell yourself to focus, take that moment. I need to really simplify, and that will help.
Yeah. It's like a split second decision, but it can really change your life. So a recap for how to get more done each day.
The recap.
Recap.
Oops, sorry about
That's
that,
good.
folks.
Okay.
First, create a to-do list that works for you. It can be simple, it can be detailed, whatever works for you. Second, figure out your priorities. What do you really need to get done today? What distractions get out of the way so you can get that priority done.
Brilliant.
Also, remember to take short breaks. That's going to help. Whatever, a 5-minute break, a little 20-minute break to have lunch or a snack, whatever works for you. And finally, remember to keep it simple. Focus on one thing at a time so you can actually finish a project completely rather than having a bunch of little projects halfway done at the end of the day.
And there it is, simplified in 7 minutes. Once again, a superb episode with you, Melanie. Thanks for being you and for helping us simplify. I'm David Wolf, podcastandradio.com. Melanie can be found at RembrandtWrites.com. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Make it a great day.